Here comes the sun, do-do-do-do. Here comes the sun, and I say it's all right. Little darling, it's been a long, cold, lonely winter. Little darling, it feels like years since it's been here. Here comes the sun, do-do-do-do. Here comes the sun, and I say it's all right. Little darling, my smiles returning to their faces. Little darling, it seems like years since it's been here. Here comes the sun, do-do-do-do. Here comes the sun, and I say it's all right. Darling, I feel the ice is slowly melting. Little darling, it seems like years since it's been clear. Here comes the sun, do-do-do-do. Here comes the sun, and I say it's all right. Here comes the sun, do-do-do-do. Here comes the sun, and I say it's all right.
We have more than the Fab Four. We have the Super Six. Welcome to the Center for Spiritual Living Toronto. Welcome. I don't know, I feel like all of a sudden I feel like, I feel very kicked back, very relaxed, which is unusual for me on a Sunday morning, isn't it? A couple of things I want to let you know about. First of all, buenos dias. Buenos dias. Deja writes me little notes, and she says, buenos dias, Jonathan. So we've got a lot of things that are going on here at the center. First of all, today we have a screening of a movie. The movie is What the Bleep Do We Know? And it's happening after service today, probably starting the movie around 1 o'clock. We have to have some time to turn the room around, put the screen up, get everything set up. But that'll happen probably about 1 o'clock. So if you're looking to stay for that, that's about the time we'll start the movie. And yeah, it'd be great to have you there. Also, this Tuesday evening, we have a Board of Trustees meeting. Anyone who is a member of this center is welcome to join us at the Board of Trustees meeting, just to see what happens, what goes on down there, and the way we keep the center motivated and moving forward. Also, that's at 7? Yep. 7. In my brain, everything is at 7:30. So it's at 7 o'clock on Tuesday the 18th, this coming Tuesday. Also, on September 19th, this Wednesday, we continue the Spiritual Path, Science of Mind 101, also known as New Foundations of Science of Mind. We're changing all of the names because all of the curriculum is getting overhauled right now. So I'm never quite sure what to call the class, but it is the foundations of this entire philosophy that we're studying right now. We're in week 3, and that's on Wednesday nights. We will continue. We'll start a brand new class on Tuesday nights beginning September 25th. Because on my sheet it says Tuesday, September 27th, but I knew in my mind it was the 25th. So on Tuesday the 25th, we're beginning Science of Mind 207, which is the Edinburgh Lectures of Judge Thomas Troward. Troward was one of the two major influences in the science of mind for Ernest Holmes. The other one is Ralph Waldo Emerson. So Troward, if you read the Edinburgh Lectures and you read the Science of Mind, you will see a lot of similarities, almost word for word. I'm not saying that Ernest Holmes plagiarized. I'm not saying that at all. But it's you definitely see the correlation. So it's a great way of going back even further into this philosophy and studying more and more. The next volunteer meeting for the Accessibility for Ontarians with Disabilities Act training will be on the 23rd. If you missed the one we had last week, we will have another one next week. And it was led beautifully by our beautiful, beautiful board member, Judy. Thank you so much for all that you do. If you're visiting us for the first time today and would like to know more about the center, you can sign up for our mailing list, which is in the lobby. And also follow us on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, all of those places. And yes, because you know me, I'm a big social networking kind of guy. I love it. I love it all. And I love how it supports this center. So that's what's going on here at the center. I will say, if you're interested in a volunteer position, we are still looking for volunteers in tech support and in the youth program, and also to be a social media ambassador. So if you're interested in kind of taking on some social media, what's the word I'm looking for? I don't know. It's some social media stuff, because that's how eloquent I am this morning. If you want to help us out with that, then just talk to me, and we can work that out. So good morning.
Good morning.
How is everyone this morning? Great. Happy New Year to those of you who are of the Jewish faith. Yes, it is Rosh Hashanah, or just ended, or tomorrow. Tomorrow it ends. Yeah. It starts tonight? Where is my brain? I thought it started on Friday night. Oh, well, see, I was wrong. I've been reading the wrong websites. No. Today's the 16th. Oh, you're right. Yeah, it starts. I just have no idea what day it is. That's my problem. And I'll tell you why. Okay, so I'm about to admit this to the entire congregation. So, on the advice of board members of this center, yes, I will, and I'm not blaming, but
We're enablers.
yes. So I started watching Breaking Bad a week ago. I've now plowed through all 4 seasons that are available on Netflix. I have no idea what day it is. It's an awesome show. Anyway, I'm not, but that's why I have no idea what day it is. No excuses. But here we are at the Center for Spiritual Living, and that's all I'm saying about Breaking Bad. But here we are, and what we do here every Sunday is celebrate. We celebrate the spirit that is within, the spirit that is without, the spirit that is the all-encompassing everything. There is nothing but spirit. There is nothing but this divine energy. There is nothing but love. There is nothing but this creative force of the universe. And that's all it's ever doing. It's always creating by means of each and every one of us. And that's what I choose to come here and celebrate on a Sunday, even if I talk about the shows that take me by surprise and I watch 4 seasons in a week. There are only 13 episodes a season, so it's not as much as you might think. 26, 39, yeah, it's a lot. But anyway, we're here to celebrate spirit. We're here to have a good time. See, and I love that we laugh, and I love that I can tell you these things, that we all laugh about it, because laughter is a joyous, joyous thing that we all get to share in, right? So let's just know that. Let's just embrace the joy that is who and what we are. That's what I'm here to celebrate. Who's here for the first time? Yes, I see beautiful, beautiful new faces. And I'm so grateful that you're here joining us today. Now, it's funny. I watched the service from NoHo from last week, and James Mellon, the Reverend James Mellon, said something very funny. He said that some people come in here and they're a little like, they come into that center and they're a little like, they're a little standoffish, because they're like, these people are way too happy. How can you be happy all the time like that? And I'm just saying, and just like he said, if that's your experience so far, just relax. We're not crazy. yet. No, we're not crazy. We celebrate life. We celebrate life, and so we're happy that you're here joining in on this celebration with us. So thank you for being here today. One of the ways that we do celebrate is by finding a songbook. Thank you. And on the inside of your songbook, let's read this thing that's in the very small print rather than the Declaration of Principles. And I apologize to those of you who have trouble seeing the small print. It's right on the first page underneath the words Spiritual Director Reverend Jonathan Zenz. That is me, by the way. You can laugh. Today is a good laughter day. So let's read this together and let this fill your soul. I am happy and complete today and forever. Within me is that which is perfect and complete. It is the spirit of all life, truth, and action. I am happy in the certain knowledge of this inner light. I radiate joy and life, for life is within me now. I radiate joy and life. Interesting word, though. It is the spirit of all life, truth, and action. Action. Your life, you can go along in your life without really taking much action, but it's so much more fun to take action in your life. So have at it. That's what I say. So I'm going to invite our reader today to do our reading. And you tried to pass it by me. You tried. Remember I said last week I didn't want to know what people were reading?
I'm not doing that.
Well, there you go. See, I love it. I love it. I love being surprised. So Patricia Stewart is going to come up and do our reading. Thank you. I will.
Yeah, I'm short.
Yeah. You are perfect.
Perfect shortness. Yeah. Anyway, good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Nice to see you. Well, I had intended to read a poem by Henry Wadsworth Longfellow, but while searching the internet for some background on his poetry, I stumbled upon Roger Houston, author, speaker, writing coach, and was moved to change my mind. That's what being a woman is all about. And so today I'm sharing with you one of his writings entitled Secular Spirituality. Oxymoron? Is there an innate spiritual impulse independent of the fear of death and of religion itself? I have never been able to espouse any religion, even as I have never been attracted to various elements in all of them. Even as I have been attracted to various elements in all of them. I am often moved by religious art and architecture in all its forms, for example, and by Sufi poetry or Gregorian chant, both of which raise the pitch of my heart and mind beyond their usual octave. Yet there is also an echo of something in all religions that goes deeper for me than art appreciation. I have always had the intuition felt in the marrow and not just in the mind, a feature of my temperament shared by many, that we live on the edge of a fullness of life that, while constantly available, seems all too often to be just out of reach. A lack, a sense of incompleteness that gives rise to a longing for something beyond the known and that cannot be spoken. No wonder the Jews leave out the vowels in the word. Sometimes, whether through meditation, a walk in the woods, or being in love, or any number of catalysts, the incompleteness, the separateness falls away, and we feel less ourselves than part of everything, joined to a life both larger and more knowing than ourselves alone. More knowing because in those moments we are a speck in the endless web of life, and yet joined even to the intelligence of the wheeling stars. A web that has no need of a computer terminal. Indra's net, the Hindus call it. A life more knowing and yet ever a mystery to our ordinary mind. a mystery with horizons that stretch away the more we gaze into it. An anonymous English writer in the 14th century called it the cloud of unknowing. Rumi and Hafiz, the two great Persian poets of Sufism, couched the experience in the language of love and beloved. So too did Christian writers like Teresa of Avila and John of the Cross. Hindus like Ramakrishna and Tagore and countless others. This flow of longing into an awareness of belonging and back into longing again is, I suggest, the original and naked religious impulse. It is common to human beings everywhere throughout time, and it is this that has been concretized and systematized into different belief systems around the world. It itself, however, is prior to belief of any kind. The Bohemian Austrian poet René Maria Rilke urged us to live the question rather than settle for easy answers. To live the question in this regard surely means being willing to feel and explore that eternal itch, to experience its poignancy, its pleasure and pain, and then the awe, the wonder, the beauty, the deep peace and fullness that may come as the wave hits the shore, without either dismissing or explaining away any part of the cycle. The fullness I refer to has nothing to do with thinking or believing. It is a spontaneous emergence of clarity, peace, aliveness, connectedness, truth and beauty, if you will, and all for no reason. We might justly call it an authentic expression of the human spirit. And as such, it is the source of spirituality unbound by any religion of any kind. The intuition of a larger life, which embraces everything that lives and breathes, is a felt sense rather than a thought or a concept. Reason, after all, is just one kind of knowing, felt sense another. The one, more objective, gives rise to secular humanism, while the other, more subjective, can give rise to a personal and secular form of spirituality. Both can arise independently of external beliefs, and both are the fruit of a questioning mind. Both are concerned with compassionate action in this world, and not with rewards in some hypothetical afterlife. The abolition of slavery, the right to vote for all colors and both sexes, human rights, animal rights, environmental protection. All these extraordinary accomplishments of the human spirit surely add up to more lasting good done in the service of humanity than all the religions of the world together. You may say that these extensions of the circle of life, to include the previously disenfranchised, are simply a reflection not only of an age of enlightenment, but also of the mirror neurons that we now know make us empathic creatures who can identify with a we as well as an I. But do mirror neurons account for the ecstatic love poetry of Rumi? I wonder whether this we also reflects something of a larger reality still, beyond the neurons firing in our brain, whether it is a felt awareness of a dimension beyond the separate sense of self, one in which we are one body, one mind, with everything that lives and breathes. Not only that, but that there is an inscrutable wisdom in the way it all works. Not the wisdom of some creator looking on bemusedly at his creation, but a wisdom and intelligence inherent in all creation itself. Do I know this to be true? I can only say I recognize it to be true. I remember it to be true in a region not accessible in my reasoning mind. In his book, The Ego Tunnel, the German philosopher and radical materialist Thomas Metzinger argues persuasively that absolutely everything we experience, however cosmic it may seem, happens only within the confines of our own brain. He may be right, though we have no way of knowing. In the meantime, I will take that tremor of recognition until my experience tells me otherwise. A secular spirituality, far from being an oxymoron, brings heaven down to earth and encourages everyone to be their own priest. It bows in recognition of the extraordinary mystery that we are living in this very moment, without packaging it up in a neat bow of explanation. Bowing in a gesture of wonder and awe, not to any god or deity, but, as W.S. Merwin says in his poem, for the anniversary of my death, bowing, not knowing to what. Thank you. Namaste.
Namaste. Thank you. So just allow what you've just heard to wash over you. Basically, what she's talking about is exactly what we teach. What she read is exactly what we teach. We teach that there is no separate deity. There is nothing outside of the self. There is nothing outside of who we are. And yet everything is outside of who we are, but we're all part of it. That each and every one of us is the divine. Each and every one of us is the face of God. Each and every one of us. And I recognize this to be the truth in the faces of everyone I see. And so, if you'd like to take a look at number 8 in your songbook and join us, we are going to be singing You Are the Face of God together. I also want to let you know that you've pointed something very important out this morning. One of the most powerful tools we have at hand is the ability to change our mind. Because we're never stuck with what's going on when we understand that it changes when we change our mind. You are the face of God. I hold you in my heart. You are a part of me. You are the face of God. You are the face of God. I hold you in my heart. You are a part of me. You are the face of God. You are the face of God. I hold you in my heart. You are a part of me. You are the face of God. And so now I invite you to consciously focus your awareness on that inner part of who you are, that inner light, that inner divine spark. That inner divine spark is part of a greater ignition of spirit that is all there is. Constantly moving forward, constantly creating, constantly evolving, and it is happening by means of each and every one of us. This is the truth with a capital T, the truth as I understand it. And with this understanding, I know that the words I speak have power. And so I speak on behalf of everyone here this morning. I speak of a greater expression of life by means of life for each and every one of us. That this is what is constantly unfolding for each and every one of us at all times. I claim great health. I claim great wealth. I claim perfect creative expression, and I claim brilliant relationships. For I know that the relationships are founded on the very principle that when I look into the faces of everyone I see God. I see the face of God. And so this is how I choose to live my life. This is how I choose to express life. And it's with a grateful heart that I simply give over to this and let it be so as I release this word to a perfect corresponding law, a law that simply does, and it does so according to my word. I let it be so, as together we say, and so it is. You are the face of God. I hold you in my heart. You are a part of me. You are the face of God. You are the face of God. I hold you in my heart. You are a part of me. You are the face of God. You are the face of God. You are the face of God. And to help us concretize that a little bit more deeply, I'm going to invite Helen Dino Brega with a spiritual mind treatment.
Please join me in prayer. And as I close my eyes and settle into this moment, there is one love, one inclusive universe of everything and everyone, and I am a part of it. And as I speak these words for everyone here, this community, this center, this board, this minister, these beautiful people to whom I am connected by the very fact that we walked through the same door this morning. And so in a spirit of inclusiveness, I know I belong here, and I am a part of everyone and everything. I'm a part of the fun. I'm a part of spirit. I'm a part of community. And so in deep gratitude and love for everyone and everything, and Spirit's great goodness and generosity in my life, I say thank you. I allow all. I surrender. And together we say, and so it is.
Thank you very much. So, I'm taking my podium up here for a moment. Have podium will travel. I'll switch back to this mic. So the song today is a song that I have wanted to sing in the center actually for a while. And then I put out this whole spreadsheet that has the songs that I intend to do at service every week for the rest of the year, and I sent it to Pierre and Tanis. And there are a lot of blank spots in there. You know, I'm not saying we're going to be regimented and do this for the rest of the year. No, it's, mostly it was about the congregational stuff that we do and how I want to plan it out. So I've been wanting to do this song for a long time. When I sent this to them about a month ago, this spreadsheet, this song was scheduled for this day. And so on Thursday, Pierre sends me an email. So you wanted to do this song, and then I'm sitting there thinking, wow, I really should have worked on this song. No, it's not that it's not that it's ill prepared. It's just that the lyrics I always mess up, and that's a really good affirmation, isn't it?
So it is. Yes.
You are right.
Whether you say you can, whether you say you can't, you're right. The truth is, this is a great song, and I have sung this at Taizé services before. It's a song by Daniel Nahmod. It became very, very special to me about the time that I was finishing up my practitioner studies and being granted a practitioner license and actually going through the examination period. And you'll understand why it became special to me around that time when I was being examined. When I was going through my examinations and being tested on the knowledge of this philosophy. What do I do if I'm not chasing anything? What do I do if I've got everything that I need? It's a question that no one's prepared me to answer. Where do I go if I'm right where I'm supposed to be? Where do I go if wherever I am home? It's a question I'm presently wanting an answer. If the usual way doesn't work for me now, that's a void I know nothing about. What if the race is over and we all automatically win? What if the game is ended long before it even begins? What if the test has been taken and we're all passing again and again? If the race is over, what then? What do I say if it's all perfect anyway? What do I say if I'm not here to change anyone? It's a question I truly don't know how to answer. How do I live if my life is eternity? How do I live if I'm no longer afraid to die? It's a mystery, no one can give me an answer. If the usual way doesn't work anymore, there's no map for what life has in store. What if the race is over and we all automatically win? What if the game is ended long before it even begins? What if the test has been taken and we're all passing again and again? If the race is over, what then? What is the purpose of time here on earth? How do I now define my death and birth? For that matter, what is my life really worth in the end? What's mine to give and what's mine to receive? Whom do I worship? What do I believe? Seems every answer comes right back to me in the end. What if the race is over and we all automatically win? What if the game is ended long before it even begins? What if the test has been taken and we're all passing again and again? If the race is over and we're all born victorious. If the race is over, what then? Thank you very much. And you know, that's kind of the eternal question. That's the eternal question for me anyway. What if the race is over? What if the race is over? What if there is nothing against which we are fighting? What if there is nothing that stands up and says there is something that is misunderstood here? There is a profound message in this song for me. What do I do if I'm not chasing anything? That's how the song starts. What are you chasing? What are you chasing? What is your goal in life? You know, we spend so much time setting up goals and setting up aspirations and we set these things up. The truth is, they're arbitrary. All of it's arbitrary. What do I do? Where do I go? How do I live? The truth is, simply live. Simply live. Let your life unfold before you in the perfect understanding that your life is unfolding before you. And if you can simply step back and allow it to happen without any attachment to what will be or what has been, then it all unfolds perfectly. It all unfolds perfectly. But we live in this world of contextual experience. We experience this world based on the context and our beliefs and what we think about what is going on around us and what is happening to us and what is happening through us. The truth is, what is happening to us is happening through us. When we really embrace that idea, when we really embrace that understanding and simply allow it to flow, life will flow. And we can step out of the way. We can step out of the way. Part of the problem with living under this idea that our lives are lived in context is that we give power to the things outside of ourselves, to the things that we use to contextualize our life. We give power to the circumstances in our life. And we forget that we're the power. We forget that we're the power. But once you give your power over to something outside of yourself, what do? You've now given your power away. You've now said, I can fall victim to that. I can blame that thing out there for this thing that's not going right in my life. But you're the one in charge. Remember I said one of the most important things that we teach in this philosophy is that you can change your mind. In fact, that's really all we teach in this philosophy, that you can change your mind. And when you change your mind, everything unfolds brilliantly and perfectly as it is supposed to. The truth is, whatever you're thinking, whatever is going on in your mind is exactly how your life is unfolding. So if you're not happy with it, change your mind. We create meaning. We give meaning to the things outside of ourselves. And people get lost, and I've done it. We get lost in the depths of what we think or perceive is the meaning of those things. We become blinded by those things. We start looking at the effects and creating new cause from them. But the effects are simply limitation. We've created limitation so that we can understand the context of life. But when we create the limitation, remember I did a talk I guess now it's a while back, called God in a Box. That whenever we put things in a box, whenever we create limitations, we now are stuck within those limitations until we decide to break down the barriers of the box and get rid of the idea that we live in limitation, because the truth is we don't. If God is infinite and limitless, then we are infinite and limitless. Because as I said before, you are the face of God. We are each God. I've been saying this from day one. We are each God. And we're all seekers. Now, here's the other interesting thing. We're all seeking spirit. We're all seeking the divine. We're all seeking God in some way. I imagine that's why you're here. You're seeking some higher, some knowledge from, I don't want to say that you're seeking knowledge from a higher authority, because really, you are the authority. But we come here with trying to embody this idea that we are in control, that we have the power. We're trying to embody this idea. Why don't we stop trying to embody it and just embody it? We create these effects in our lives, and we decide that they're the truth, and they limit our experience. Now, I've talked a little bit about some of the things that have aligned to bring me to this philosophy. And I was mentioning, was it Wednesday? I don't remember. I was mentioning to somebody that I recently came across some more old journals. I'm a big journaler. I've kept journals from about the time I was in grade 7. I started journaling, and I have books and books and books and books. I found some journals that were pretty much specifically aligned with the time that I spent in New York City. And a lot of you that have been coming to the service or have talked to me, or you're aware that when I left New York City, I was trying to escape an abusive relationship. And it was a very dark time in my life. But what's really interesting is I went back and I was reading this particular journal that was my experience in New York, and I see the journey to where I am now. I see that journey. That was 15 years ago. I could see the seeds of who I am now in what I was writing, talking about how I was in control, how I could use my thought, how I could use my mind to step into something more. This is before I had any idea about science of mind. I knew nothing about science of mind. I didn't know it existed. And I went and tracked this throughout this journal. I was really fascinated. And then I was so desperate for love, I allowed myself to get into a relationship that was not supporting my highest good. And it limited me. And it limited me even more. And I started to forget who I was. And it limited me even more. And the more I got into it, the more I felt limited and constrained and held back. And when I decided that I was done with that relationship 2 years later, after beginning it, I was still stuck in the limitation. Even though I had escaped the circumstance, I was still stuck in the limitation because I was still stuck in the limitation in my own mind. Now here's the really important thing. Today's talk is called, What Was I Thinking? And I can say, looking back on that relationship, looking back and, hindsight is 20/20. We all say that. Hindsight is 20/20. What was I thinking? And then religious scientists will go to, what was I thinking to create that? What was going on in my mind to create that? Well, I can look at it and say, well, clearly I must have been thinking thoughts of inadequacy. I must have been thinking thoughts that I was unlovable because I latched on to this one thing that made me feel like I was important. But then I look at those journals. You starting to see what was going on? What I was thinking was, I can change my life. I have the power. I'm a strong person. I can move forward. How I was thinking was, I'm limited. I'm not worth it. This is my life and I'm doomed to live it. Doomed to live it. What I was writing was directly opposed to what was really going on. So instead of saying, what was I thinking, which was this, because that was what my conscious thought was, it was, how was I thinking? What was the belief system that was actually going on behind it? The belief system of inadequacy is what helped my life unfold the way that it did. It's the only thing that created that experience for me. And it was not until I realized, oh, it's the belief, stupid. It's the belief that I really turned it around. So when I say you have the capacity and you have the greatest gift, which is the ability to change your mind, I'm not saying change your mind about the things that are happily going on, because we can all get stuck in that. affirmation time. Oh, life is great, life is good. But if really what's going on behind that is life is not so great, life is not so good, the changing of your mind is the changing of your belief. That's what needs to change. So then I go to the song lyric. If the usual way doesn't work anymore, there's no map for what life has in store. When you recognize that your usual way is no longer working, and you take the steps to change the belief behind it, there is no map for what life has in store. All of a sudden, you've opened yourself up to infinite possibility. And it can do nothing but unfold. And not having a map may seem scary. Right? It's like, oh, infinite possibility, I don't know. But it can be thrilling. Now, like many men, because this is a stereotype, right? Like many men, I don't like to use maps. That's why I have an iPhone. No, actually, I love maps. I really love maps. However, once I look at a map, I discard it. I did this when I went to Spain in 1998. Interesting. It's all the same time period I'm talking about. I went to Spain with my family in 1998, and my mother was absolutely floored at how I could look at a map of whatever city we were in and put it away, and I always knew exactly where we were going at all times. I've just always had that kind of mind, that I've always been good like that. But it's getting rid of the map and also allowing the possibility for exploration was one of the things that we did when we were in Spain. And we came across brilliant, brilliant things. And it was such a joy to have the exploration, not the regimented, here's what we're going to do when we're in Spain, and we're going to follow this path and be very limited in what we want to do. It was the ability to say, this is our goal, and we're open to the exact perfect path to get there that leads to the highest expression of spirit by means of each and every one of us. We're on the perfect journey no matter what. So get rid of the map. Get rid of the map. Get rid of the map and step into that spiritual path which is assured. So I forget what I was looking up exactly, but I found this quote online. Joseph Naft has a website. I don't know a lot about him. I've just started to explore his website. He's basically a New Thought thinker, but he's not specifically aligned with any New Thought, any specific New Thought philosophy. But he wrote this: the whole of the spiritual path may be summed up in the term non-clinging. Through non-clinging love comes, through non-clinging the door to the unconditioned opens. Our heart and our will purified and prepared to receive the will of God. Now, the will of God. When we talk about the will of God, and we do talk about it within this philosophy, what is God's will? Is there a will of God? Does that actually exist? If there's no separate being out there, that there's nothing that can have will over us. So I'm going to adjust this a little bit. Through non-clinging the door to the unconditioned opens our heart and our will purified and prepared to receive the divine. To be open to that which is flowing through us naturally. So when we talk about the will of God, that's really what we're talking about. We're talking about good. We're talking about creation, because that is the will of God. The only will of God is to create constructively at all times. That's the will of God. But it's happening by means of each and every one of us. And that is the spiritual path that I trust we are all on. That we're open up to not clinging on to anything. To not clinging on to anything. What if we're not chasing anything? What if we have everything we need? What if? How do I live if my life is eternity? How do I live if I'm no longer afraid to die? Ernest Holmes writes, If an obstruction in thought is the result of a hangover of belief let me try that again. It's easy for me to say. I'll have a glass of water, I'll have a sip of water, and then I'll read it. If an obstruction in thought is the result of a hangover or of belief from past years, the practitioner must know that no past mistake can hinder or obstruct the flow of divine intelligence. If an obstruction in thought, so I'm going to align this with the story I've just told you. If an obstruction in thought, my belief is the obstruction in thought, my belief that I was not worthy, which is what attracted someone into my life who treated me as though I was not worthy. If the obstruction in thought is the result of a hangover of belief from past years, and I put hangover in quotes because I'm like, hangovers suck. How many of you have ever experienced a hangover? And the truth is, when I was experiencing the after effects of leaving that relationship but still had the obstruction in thought and suffering from it, that was a hangover. In much the same way that when the alcohol is still in your system and working itself out, you're experiencing hangover, right? If an obstruction in thought is the result of a hangover of belief from past years, the practitioner, and when we say practitioner, we mean everyone. We're not talking about just licensed practitioners, because you are a practitioner of this philosophy, whether you know it or not, because your thoughts are creating your life. Now, you can actively participate in that, or you can just simply let it go willy-nilly. Did you just say willy-nilly? Yeah, because I love that. You can simply let it go willy-nilly and just, unfold as it will. And maybe some things will be good, maybe some things will be not so good. But you are a practitioner, whether you know it or not. But the practitioner must know that no past mistake can hinder or obstruct the flow of divine intelligence. That is what we are working to create, that understanding, that deep embodiment that nothing can obstruct the flow of divine intelligence. Now, the truth is nothing can obstruct the flow of divine intelligence because it's always happening. But which direction are you going to take it in? We also say the practitioner must know, right? And we're talking about spiritual mind treatment. We're talking about getting to that place of belief. The spiritual practitioner must know, must believe, must embody that understanding. Your life is up to you. Your life is up to you. That's God's will. Your life is up to you to create. It's not about looking at the what was I thinking? It's about looking at the how was I thinking? That has put me where I am now and continues to create. The truth is, you're not chasing anything. You're not chasing anything. You've got everything that you need. You're right where you're supposed to be, each and every one of you. Wherever you are home. It's all perfect. You're not here to change anyone. Your life is eternity. The race is over. The race is over. Let it be over, with the understanding and the recognition that each and every one of us are the winners. The race is over. Namaste. So I'm so grateful to all of you for being here and listening to me and whatever I have to say at any particular moment. We have come to that point in the service where we give back. And so if you would take out whatever it is you're offering to the center today and simply hold on to it, simply put it in your hands and understand that what you have in your hand is energy. Whether it's a popsicle stick, a check, a dollar bill, or a dollar coin. You don't have dollar bills in this country. Or a $50 bill. or several $50 bills. I'm not saying that that's what you should give. I'm saying give from your heart. But when you give with the understanding that what you give gives back to this community. I haven't talked about the task forces in a long time, but that is still in my mind, and I am going to be contacting those people who have opted to step up and be leaders of task forces, and then we'll start really putting together these groups so that we can start doing the work in the community, which is so important to me. In fact, we had a little chat this morning about a project that I may put an email out about this week regarding the building next door, but I have to talk to the landlord first. I just can't look at it anymore. I just think it's so ugly, and I just want to go out there, clean it up, and maybe slap a coat of paint on it. So I may be putting out a call for people to help with that. Anyway, this is about the giving. This is about the understanding that you are the divine, that what you hold in your hand is the divine, and that what you give, please give with love, and with the understanding that as you give, so you receive. And so we're going to do a different song today, because I want to start mixing it up again. We're going to sing I Am So Blessed, which we used to sing, but we're going to go back and sing it again today. So it's number 19 in your songbooks if you'd like to join in with us as the basket goes around. And please stand up and celebrate this energy of giving.
I am so blessed, I am so blessed, I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed, I am so blessed, I am so grateful, I am so blessed. We are so blessed, we are so blessed, we are so grateful for all that we have. We are so blessed, we are so blessed, we are so grateful, we are so blessed. I am so blessed, I am so blessed, I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed, I am so blessed, I am so grateful, I am so blessed, I am so grateful, I am so
It is all perfect. So I'm going to invite Helen Dino Brega up. She will do a blessing over the offering.
Forgot your cash. We do accept debit. He's in Massachusetts. Please join me in the blessing of these offerings. And so I connect to Spirit, one beautiful light, one energy working around me, through me, and everyone here. And as we appreciate these gifts, they appreciate. They grow the center, they grow our lives, they grow the discernment of a Lord so willing to work and to laugh and play and grow this beautiful space and place and philosophy. And so, in a spirit of prosperity for every single person for this planet, in gratitude and appreciation, I release these gifts to do their work and expand and expand and expand. And together we say,
And so it is. Thank you very much. So it is in profound gratitude that I honor every single person who helped make today happen. Starting with this beautiful woman who comes in on Saturdays and cleans. So thank you, Lucy. Was Taryn with you yesterday? No, she wasn't. So Lucy comes in and cleans this center for our benefit, and I so appreciate what you do. Thank you so much. Also greeting today Deborah and Susan, setting up today, Gail and Christina. In the bookstore, Margaret Ann and Lorna, and down with the kids, Mahala and Margaret Ann pulling double duty today. Yes. Our board members, are listed as Tony and Fred, but I saw Helen below with the basket, so Fred is not here. I don't think so. Makes me sad. That's okay. I want to thank Linda for running our camera and making sure that our webcast goes out to the world. And I just want to say hello to everyone who's joined us online today. Whether you're watching live or whether you're watching the archive, it's wonderful to have you join us. And Hailu is training to help out with that area as well. So thank you so much. Thank you, thank you. In the sound booth today, Brian was helping out, pulling double duty as well, playing bass and sound. Of course, the band. You want to talk, me saying I am so blessed with this band. And I really want to thank Patricia for your wonderful reading today. Thank you so much. And I want to thank especially, we have these 4 women in our center who are still in the process of going through their licensing to become licensed practitioners in this philosophy. And you give of yourselves so brilliantly, and I am so grateful to everything that you do to help support this center. So today I especially want to give great thanks to Helen Dino Brega for your beautiful treatment work today. Thank you. So, simply sit back. Understand that the race is over. And we're all winners. The race is over. And there's nothing more we need do except understand that it's all perfect. All of it. Everything is perfect. Sometimes we feel like that's difficult to believe. But if you really deep down explore the truth of who you are, you will understand that it is the truth. And so, I simply say relax, let go, let it be so, and simply be present right here, right now. Let go. Let go. When I forget, we are one, and I regret things that I've done. I go within my heart and soul. I start again, knowing I'm whole. God is right here where I am. I am right where I should be. As I fill my mind with peace, I feel it washing over me. God is right here where I am, flowing in and out through me. In this moment, I am free. And so right here in this moment, I lay claim to that deeper understanding, that deeper knowing, that deeper sensation of inspiration that is flowing through me and flowing through each and every person who experiences this thing today called service. Recognizing that this thing called inspiration is fully available to each and every one of us and each and every person whom we encounter. This is the truth of who we are, for we are one with and as, expressing perfectly as spirit, as this divine energy. And so I give over to it. I give over to it. I give over to it. And I give over to it in gratitude, knowing that it is done because it is my belief. and I have spoken my word according to my belief. And in that, I simply let go, I let it be so, and together we say, and so it is. When things go wrong and my way is dark, and when I lose my song and life breaks my heart, I go within my heart and soul. I start again, knowing I'm whole. God is right here where I am. I am right where I should be. As I fill my mind with peace, I feel it washing over me. God is right here where I am, flowing in and out through me. In this moment, I am free. In this moment, I am free. So let's take this understanding of freedom. Let's celebrate it with our final song, Don't Stop, which is number 43 in your songbooks.
If you wake up and don't want to smile, if it takes just a little while, open your eyes and look at the day. You'll see things in a different way. Don't stop thinking about tomorrow. Don't stop, it'll soon be here. It'll be here, better than before. Yesterday's gone, yesterday's gone. Wanna think about the times to come, and not about the things that you've done. If your life was bad to you, just think what tomorrow will do. Don't stop thinking about tomorrow. Don't stop, it'll soon be here. It'll be here, better than before. Yesterday's gone, yesterday's gone. All I want is to see you smile. If it takes just a little while, I know you don't believe that it's true. I never meant any harm to you. Don't stop thinking about tomorrow. Don't stop, it'll soon be here. It'll be here, better than before. Yesterday's gone, yesterday's gone. Don't stop thinking about tomorrow. Don't stop, it'll soon be here. It'll be here, better than before. Yesterday's gone, yesterday's gone. Ooh, don't you look back.
Have a great week, everyone.